I'm listening to the communities across Houston, and I would urge you to talk to the Park Board CEO, Miss White, will elicit all the connectivity and the trails and the boughs that we're bringing together. You know, the last administration and a lot of the activists in that administration apparently were just building bike trails and lanes as fast as they could, wherever they could. So there's been a significant pushback across Houston. We listen to people. The Montrose project was going to remove 50 trees, very divisive, controversial. 12-foot sidewalks, which would make the reduction of the size of the lanes. That's the major thoroughfare, as you know, into the med center. So we just weren't going to go and take that approach. But we're doing tremendous things that many folks have not heard about, the connectivity of the boughs and the trails. We're doing everything we can. Some of it is so sensitive I can't discuss it because we have to acquire property to get the bikers into Memorial Park in a safe manner. So I'm excited to talk to you about it. I respect your opinion, but quite frankly, I'm listening to the residents and not special interests and not people who have conflicts of interest. And, you know, it's how I was in the legislature 50 years. I hope you understand I wasn't there 50 years because I didn't represent the public interest. So as I live in Houston, grew up in Houston, I've watched things develop. You just can't have road diet in Houston that impairs our mobility. It wasn't laid out that way. It won't go forward that way. But I don't know which particular route you're talking about, but it was well thought out. We have an outstanding director of public works. We listen to council members and the public. And that's what I'm going to continue to do.
And Amber, thank you. I just want to thank Amber for her call there.
It's tricky, Mayor. I mean, you're putting cars and bikes on the same road and pedestrians right next to them. So you can't just go roughshod and just start putting trails out there.
Here's the challenge, Frank. They were designed and paid for, some by the county, some by the TERS cities, but nobody planned for the maintenance. The armadillos that get so much attention, you go out Hardy or Jensen, they're in people's yards. The boats are sticking up. The Heights experience the other day were tearing up tires. I'm just not going to sit around and not be responsible to what first responders tell me. The Houston Avenue change, first responders said we cannot turn right off of Washington with a fire engine and get on 45 South. It's one of the most positive things I've done. So we're very proud of our record. We're going to have a connectivity between south of Allen Parkway and north going over the bayou. But I would urge you to have Miss White with the Parks Board, the CEO, to come, and she'll talk about the 11-mile segment in Spring Branch between Hammerling and Kentwood, a 3-mile trail that will connect Brays Bayou and 30 miles of street trails. Inwood Forest has an outstanding repurpose of the old Inwood Forest Club to create a bike and hike trails, Brays Bayou. I can go on and on.
Yep.
We just are not going to interfere with the success and the need of Houston's mobility. When you do a road diet on a major thoroughfare, it will slow down the traffic. That's irrefutable. But on the other hand, people have to go to U of H, they have to go to work, and I can cite some real bad examples of poor planning, but more importantly, poor maintenance.
Okay, well, so with your blessing, we'll have Ms. White on, that's for sure.
Yes. So excellent. It is safe to say then you are committed to bike mobility for the city. It just needs to be thought out.
It needs to be recreational, needs to be on our bike paths, the connectivity of the trails and the bayous. That's the way it's laid out, been so successful.
Will this include biking commuters as opposed to just
of course.
Recreational?
But you also see a lot of the trails in areas that are just never occupied. You got the Hardy, Jensen, Lorraine, north of LBJ. Somebody has contracts, in my judgment, and 50 years of experience. When something just doesn't make sense, you can look into conflicts of interest. And
okay.
I'm committed to reducing that.